The 22nd of June, 1941. With 134 divisions at full fighting strength and 73 more divisions for deployment behind the front, Nazi Germany, under the code name Operation Barbarossa, invades the Soviet Union, its ally in the war against Poland. Hitler considers the invasion as part of his plan to provide the German nation with Lebensraum, meaning living space, and an opportunity to destroy communism, which he loathes. The Soviet Union sees catastrophic military losses in the first 6 weeks after the German attack, but fails to collapse and fights the Germans, who terrorize the local population. Among this local population is the 18-year-old girl who resists the Nazi occupants and leads the organization named Young Avengers, whose members will kill upwards of 100 German soldiers. Her name is Yefrosinya Zenkova. Yefrosinya Zenkova was born on the 22nd of December 1923 to a Belarusian peasant family in the village of Ushaly, then part of the Soviet Union. Though her parents were illiterate, they supported their children's desire to study in every way possible. After finishing high school, she attended a vocational school before working as a seamstress at a clothing factory. As one of the best workers, she was sent to study at the local technical clothing school, but due to the war, only had time to finish the first course. The Second World War began on the 1st of September 1939 when Nazi Germany invaded Poland. Poland found itself fighting a two-front war when it was invaded by the Soviet Union from the east on the 17th of September. Warsaw officially surrendered to the Germans on the 28th of September, and one day later, in accordance with a secret protocol to their non-aggression pact, Germany and the Soviet Union partitioned Poland. However, this pact would not last long. Since the 1920s, core policies of the Nazi movement included the destruction of the Soviet Union by military force, the permanent elimination of the perceived communist threat in Germany, and the seizure of prime land within Soviet borders as Lebensraum, meaning living space, for long-term German settlement. As such, Adolf Hitler had always regarded the 23rd August 1939 German-Soviet non-aggression pact, commonly referred to as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, as a temporary tactical maneuver. In July 1940, just weeks after the German conquest of France and the Low Countries, Belgium, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, Hitler decided to attack the Soviet Union within the following year. On the 18th of December 1940, he signed Directive 21, codenamed Operation Barbarossa. This was the first operational order for the invasion of the Soviet Union. Operation Barbarossa began on Sunday, the 22nd of June, 1941. 3 million German soldiers were reinforced by Finnish, Romanian, Hungarian, Italian, Slovak, and Croatian troops. Within weeks, German divisions conquered the Baltic republics of Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. For Nazi Germany, this attack was not an ordinary military operation. The war against the Soviet Union was a war of annihilation between German fascism and Soviet communism, a racial war between German Aryans and subhuman Slavs and Jews. After the German invasion of the Soviet Union, Zenkova initially engaged in civil defense activities in Vitebsk. She rescued people from collapsed buildings and removed unexploded ordnances from streets and rooftops. Despite the city being surrounded by enemy forces, Zenkova stayed behind to assist others with evacuation efforts. When attempting to flee to Soviet-controlled territory, she was captured by the Germans but managed to escape. Zenkova embarked on a week-long journey back to her small village of birth. Upon returning to Ushaly, German forces took over the area, seizing villagers' property, particularly food and livestock. Though eager to join her brother in the partisan detachment named after Kliment Voroshilov, a close associate of Joseph Stalin, Zenkova's path took a different turn in March 1942. The detachment's commissar requested her to establish a Komsomol cell near the crucial railroad junction in Obol, just 5 kilometers from Ushaly, to gather intelligence on German military activities. Komsomol was a political youth organization in the Soviet Union. Zenkova accepted the task and received a list of recruits and leaflets from the commissar. Forming the organization at just 18 years old, alongside many recruits who were even younger, some as young as 15, they became known as the Young Avengers. The organization carried out activities at the Obol station and nearby districts. Young underground fighters searched for and handed over weapons, medicines, and foodstuffs to the partisans. They collected information about the movements and locations of the enemy and about the movements of their echelons. They carried out sabotage, destroyed the enemy's manpower and equipment, conducted propaganda among the population, and until August 1943, the organization Young Avengers carried out 21 sabotages. Probably the most famous member of this group was Zenaida Portnova. In August 1943, Zenaida, then 17 years old, secured a position in a canteen for German soldiers in Obol. There, she cunningly poisoned the food, resulting in the deaths of numerous German soldiers. To better monitor activities at the Obol railroad junction, Zenkova secured a job as an assistant to an accountant at the station. Another partisan, Nikolai Alexeyev, found work as the station switchman. When Alexeyev found a shipment of tanks in one of the trains, he quickly passed on the message to Moscow, leading to a Soviet Air Force bombing raid that destroyed the shipment. The partisans themselves engaged in armed stockpiling and sabotage, causing a collision between a train full of SS men and a resupply train. Later, when Zenkova was provided with magnetic mines, she found creative ways to hide them for delivery, even baking one into a loaf of bread to avoid detection. One mine she had given to a partisan was placed under the car of a high-ranking SS official named Karl Bormann, and resulted in his death along with 3 other SS members. Zenkova also participated in sabotage actions at a pump, local power plant, and brick factory, killing upwards of 100 German soldiers. The group also mined a highway while removing pieces of train track at strategic locations. However, on the 28th of August 1943, after a traitor's denunciation, mass arrests of members of the underground organization Young Avengers took place. Zenkova escaped because she was fortunately away in Polotsk at the time. Arrested members of the organization were interrogated, tortured, and executed. On her return, having learned about the arrests, she joined a partisan detachment. Unable to locate Zenkova, the Germans arrested her mother Marfa instead, and executed her in her daughter's place as collective punishment. After the war, Zenkova took on the responsibility of raising 3 children of a relative who had fallen during the conflict. In 1945, she joined the Communist Party and played a crucial role in the post-war reconstruction efforts as an instructor in the District Komsomol Committee. Transitioning to a new role in 1967, she began working at the city's military recruitment center. Known for her captivating public speaking skills, Zenkova addressed audiences at factories, schools, and military units. Her remarkable contributions were recognized when she was honored as a hero of the Soviet Union in 1958, and in 1976 acknowledged as an honorary citizen of Vitebsk, the city located in today's Belarus. Yefrosinya Zenkova was 60 years old when she died on the 19th of April, 1984, and was buried in the Mazurin cemetery of Vitebsk, Belarus. Yefrosinya Zenkova was a brave woman who, despite facing great danger, showed incredible courage and determination. Her actions remind us of the importance of standing up for what is right, even in the face of adversity. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the strength of the human spirit and the resilience of those who fight for justice and freedom. There were many tears shed for Yefrosinya Zenkova. Thanks for watching the World History channel. Be sure to like and subscribe, and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss our next episodes. We thank you, and we'll see you next time on the channel.